Okay, what I want to do, guys, I want to show you a modification for fishing to a Promatory peg design trigger. And all I've done here is I've taken a piece of bank line and I've tied a knot in a piece of latex tubing and a knot on the other end, and that's where my snare line is going to, and then straight down to the ground. And what I find is most of the time is that people have a hard time, or they struggle most with engines and triggers. Okay, so now that you've seen the engine set up, now this is my trigger attached to the engine spring device. This is my line that would be a snare line, but I'm going to show you a fishing mod basically for this. And we're going to use a Promatory peg type trigger for this, which is basically just a two-piece trigger that's been cut halfway through on both sides and split. This one's made out of a dowel rod. I find typically that the most difficult thing for students to reproduce are engines and triggers. So if you use materials like dowel rods and latex tubing, very easy to recreate those kind of things. And we're working on a self-contained trapping kit right now that will contain these components that you can put in your backpack so you don't have to make them on the fly. But I wanted to show you this modification today for the Promatory peg. We've showed this trigger in several videos for things such as deadfalls, as well as bird traps and things of that nature. I've also showed how to set these up with trip wires. And now I want to show you how to use it for a fishing modification, because if you can use one trigger for a whole lot of different applications, it just makes it a whole lot easier on you. So what we've got is we've got our toggle tied off to one side right here of our snare wire. We have a small loop tied to the tree right here. Okay, that's going to be our release system. Once we put our trigger inside, or our release stick inside that, or lever stick, whatever you want to call that, butt it up against this tree like this, the only thing keeping it from going off is forward motion. Okay, if we hold it here, it can't go off. So if we let it go, it's going to spring. All right, so again, we're going to take this, we're going to put it down inside the loop, lever it upward so that it's trying to pull out. Then we're going to take our Promatory peg type trigger, and instead of facing it in like we normally would for a deadfall type device, we're going to face it out. Okay, and if you post hole it a little bit, it's okay. That's not going to hurt anything in this case, because it's going to get pulled apart no matter what, because it's going to be on a tripwire type system for fishing. And now it just becomes a balancing act that you kind of have to go through to make sure you can keep that thing steady, because it's wanting to go to this side just a little bit. That should be just about right. Now I want to create a little bit of separation in there, just a tiny bit, if I can get it. If I can't get it, it's okay too, but if I can get it, it'll be all the better. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this line, okay? This is very simple. This is the line that's got my hook on it, it's going out to the water, okay? I'm going to take that line and I'm going to pull it fairly taut, and I'm going to drop it right inside the separation of this Promatory peg trigger, okay? So I'm going to force it down in there with my hands, just like this, keeping that trigger taut as I can. There we go, just like that. And then push it back together, okay? So now what I've got is, I have, as soon as the animal or the turtle or the fish or whatever the case may be pulls on this, he's going to release this trigger, okay? And I'm going to get that close up for you if I can here. Okay, so we got a close-up view now. This is our line going out to the water. This line right here is coming down from our trigger stick through our Promatory peg, through the V, and then this line has got our hook on it, our sinker, our bait, whatever, and goes out to the water. So as soon as the animal comes and takes this bait, he trips that trigger. When he trips that trigger, it sets the hook.